Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something really exciting. The top 30 Donghua anime of all time. From breathtaking martial arts epics, to heartwarming romances, to mind-bending fantasy worlds. I've gathered a list of must-watch Chinese animations that every anime fan should know. So grab your snacks, sit back, and let's get started. Number 30 on the list is Renegade Immortal. It tells the tale of Guó Màn, a young child who tried to pass the district exam in an effort to improve his and his parents' futures, but things turned out differently. It is a tale filled with tragedies and difficult decisions. Next is Soul Land. Tang San, the outer disciple of Tang's clan, jumps off the cliff to demonstrate his sincerity. Because he has secretly learned what the inner sect believes to be its greatest strength, he enters another world full of martial souls under a different name, called Soul Land. When they are 6 years old, each child's martial soul will be awakened in the military soul temple. Martial soul can assist with their daily routines, whether they are an animal, plant, or weapon type. The most powerful and honorable profession in Soul Land is that of the Soul Master. Along with his goal of reviving Tang's clan, Tang San sets out on his journey to become a Soul Master from the Saint of Soul village. If Tang San's secret weapons make it to the Soul Land and his martial soul awakens, can he restore the glory days of the Tang clan? Following that is Swallowed Star. One day, an unidentified RR virus appeared on the planet, causing a catastrophe. Infected animals transform into frightful, fiercely combative monsters. As the last defense of man, when humans face destruction, they construct walls and base cities. The struggles that humanity faced during this time are referred to as the period of Nirvana. Human power is also gradually developing and evolving in extreme living environments. Martial arts are emerging, and human power quality is rising compared to before. And the warriors are the best of them. 10-year-old Luo Feng also aspires to be one of them. The main character in this series, Luo Feng, is followed in a post-apocalyptic world full of intelligent monsters. As he develops his superhuman warrior skills and gradually gets better by overcoming obstacles. Then we have a record of mortals' journey to immortality. The tale of Han Li, a village boy who is poor and ordinary. He willingly travels to Qijuan sect to take their entrance exam in order to help his family live a better life. He was welcomed by Moda Fu and sets out on his journey in Jianghu with his average aptitude. He must successfully navigate the perilous path of cultivation while avoiding the attention of those who might harm him. This is the tale of a common mortal who, against all odds, battles with ancient celestials and devilish demons to discover his own path of cultivation to immortality. Next is Martial Master, legendary figure Qin. Qin from the Tianwu continent was unexpectedly killed as a result of the betrayal of his lover and friend. He was reborn as the illegitimate son of a marquis 300 years later who was frequently bullied, rose to the heavens by using his accomplishments from his previous life as spiritual methods and pill refinement. He sets out on a shocking journey that will shock every nation. Next is Battle Through the Heavens, in a place where the powerful set the rules and the weak are required to obey. A place full of alluring treasures and beauty, but also one rife with unanticipated danger. Xiao Yan, who had displayed talents no one had seen in decades, unexpectedly lost everything 3 years prior: his abilities, his standing, and his commitment to his mother. What sorcery has resulted in him losing all of his abilities? Why did his suddenly appear? Going ahead is a will eternal. One wants to build oceans. One intends to call upon the mulberry fields. One has the desire to kill countless devils. One desire is to eliminate countless immortals. Only my will is unchanging. Will Eternal tells the story of Bai Xiaoxun, a charming but irritable young man who values friendship and family dearly, but is primarily motivated by his fear of dying and desire to live forever. Bai Xiaoxun, a regular young man, lights up the incense of immortality to call upon the immortals in order to pursue immortality, but until he meets the guide, Master Li Qingyao, the man is repeatedly struck by lightning as a result of that. Moving forward is Stellar Transformation. Qin. Yu is a young man in an alien galaxy who lacks the innate ability to practice internal techniques. Therefore, he resolutely decides to take the more difficult and painful path of practicing external techniques in order to win his father's respect. He matures over the years, but what truly alters his life is a mysterious, meteoric crystal stone known as the meteoric tear. Unnoticed, this stone fuses with the young man's body, and as a result, he appears to go through significant changes. Following that, everything is altered. Eventually, his father realizes that the son he hasn't really given much thought to has amazing abilities, and there will be a lot more to come. Next is against the Sky Supreme. The most powerful being in the God realm, and a master of many different arts, is Hong Ming, Supreme, the ruler of the God realm. Despite his position of authority, he was renowned for his generosity, kindness, and fairness in regard to the mortal, eternal, as well as godly realms. The Chaos Supreme and the Origin Supreme betrayed and killed Hong Meng Supreme during an extraterrestrial invasion, resulting in his curse of eternal reincarnation. His family was murdered, his house was taken, and his values were changed. Tan Yun, who was born in Wangyu Town into a small noble family, lived as an outcast for 16 years. With the awakening of his past memories and the power of the Hong Meng, divine fetus, Tan Yun transformed his fate and attained godlike abilities as he approached death. Then we have the Wonderland of 10,000s, the martial arts sect. Tianyuan Shenzong was besieged and suppressed in the early years of the Great Zhou dynasty because it was in charge of protecting the previous dynasties. This was followed by the other 5 great martial arts sects after the fall. At that precise moment, the ruler of Tianyuan Shenzong made the decision to travel the path of immortality and selected the Xinyun to rule the Tianyuan Shenzong. The Xinyun is unaware that he was once a surviving prince of the Great Shang dynasty, and he followed the path to exact revenge. Next one is immortality. Since childhood, Fang Han, a lowly family slave, has traveled the world by himself and has held the belief that I would rather be able to pay for my own needs. He pierced the mystery of supernatural powers with an unyielding stubbornness and transformed his body into an immortal body. Work hard to gradually enter the fairyland and eventually rise to the position of peak king. Next up is 10,000 Worlds. Lin Feng was condensing his martial soul in the Lin Mansion on this particular day, but his fiancée, Ji Manyo, took advantage of the opportunity to take away his sword martial soul, causing him to vomit blood and pass away. He had just cultivated this soul into a prototype. Lin Feng's spirit entered the location where the gods were interred at the same time. Lin Feng was told by the enigmatic woman in the location that by destroying the ancient gods buried here, he could acquire enormous martial arts power and knowledge. Then we have apotheosis. Luo Zhang, a menial slave now, was formerly a young master of a big family. Decline of his family forces his fourth sister to be imprisoned by a strong force, and he has no way but to be at others' convenience. Nonetheless, every dark cloud has a silver lining. The old book left by his father really kindle a magic spell that can metamorphose a man into a weapon, and he starts his journey to save his sister and get revenge. Going forward is the founder of Diabolism, Wei Wuxian, the Grand Master who founded the demonic sect, roamed the globe in his heinous ways, and was despised by millions of people for the mayhem. In the end, he was killed by strong clans that banded together to overpower him after being stabbed by his closest Shidi. He takes on the form of a lunatic who was left behind by his clan, and is later, against his will, taken away by Lan Wangji, his archenemy and one of the clan's most well-known cultivators. This marks the beginning of a thrilling yet hilarious journey that includes raising kids, solving mysteries, and taking on monsters. The 2 men who hold diametrically opposed ideologies set out on a quest to decipher the mysteries of the afterlife. The 2 end up forming a bond that neither of them had ever anticipated after defeating demons, ghosts, and even other cultivators. Next is Purple River. 3 heroes from a mysterious clan are emerging in the human empire. Sterling is a patriotic soldier and devoted to the throne. Di Lin is cold-blooded but resourceful. And Zichuan Zhu is known as an outlaw, but an intelligent man. The 3 brothers showed off their respective skills. When the Zichuan clan was attacked by enemies from both within and without, Sterling resolutely chose his family rather than his beloved lover, while Zichuan Zhu drove the demons away and risked his life to find the rebel. The constant entanglement of human, demon, orc, and eastern tribes causes chaos on this continent. Then, in the blood and fire, a magnificent, epic story was born. Then we have Against the Gods. The most dangerous of Azira Cloud Continent S for deadly regions is mythical Abode Mountain. It's also known as Clouds and Cliff. The Grim Reaper Cemetery is the name of the base of Cloud and Cliff. It is impossible to count the number of people who have fallen off this cliff over the course of countless years. None of them have been able to survive. Not even 3, who were more powerful than God Masters and had the ability to pierce the heavens. However, a young man named Yun Che, who is being pursued by many people because he is the only one in possession of an invaluable treasure, jumps off the cliff, but instead of passing away, the boy awakens in the body of another boy with the same name. This is the tale of a young man who wields the sky poison pearl and builds up the fortitude to battle both heaven and earth while ruling over the entire planet. Next in the list is Tales of Demons and Gods. In his previous life, Ni Li became the strongest demon. Spiritist and stood at the height of the martial world despite being too weak to defend his home when it mattered. He did, however, perish in the conflict with the Sage Emperor and 6 deity-ranked animals. Then, when he was still 13 years old, his soul was brought back to that time. With the help of the vast knowledge he gathered from his previous life. Despite being the weakest in his class with the lowest talent, and having only a red soul realm, and even one at that, he made the decision to train more quickly than anyone could have anticipated. Next up is Since the Red Moon. A red moon appeared in the sky. This event, known as the Red Moon Event, survivors had to hide in a walled city. Some survivors had mental mutations. Those who could not control their mutations would spread mental plague and radiation. This harmed normal people and threatened surviving humans. To deal with this pollution, the walled city made a cleanup department. They hired people who could control spiritual energy. The protagonist, Lu Xin, applied for the most dangerous cleanup job. We have Martial Universe and List. In a world where respect can only be gained through physical prowess, the Great Yan Empire exists. The 4 great clans have always stood out from the others within this Great Yan Empire. One of them involved a specific incident in the Lin clan that led to the exile of someone who later went on to start his own family, with the hope of one day being recognized by them once more and rejoining them. When Lin Dong was very young, he watched helplessly as his gifted father was easily crushed. And crippled by the overwhelming genius of the great Lin clan, Lin Langshan, coming from a banished family, since that fateful day Lin Dong has been driven by a deep purpose to exact revenge on the man who had taken everything and more from his family. Despite the fact that he is the father of despair, the grandfather of heartbreak, and the family of suffering. Join Lin Dong as he unknowingly learns of a destiny greater than any one of them could ever hope to imagine when they come across an enigmatic stone talisman, armed only with willpower and determination. Next one is Shrouding the Heavens. There once was a group of teenagers who got together for a graduation-esque reunion. Their fate changed when they unintentionally discovered an old bronze coffin that was rumored to hold the remains of 9 enormous dragons. They were all abruptly transported from Earth to a different undiscovered planet. They must cultivate on that enigmatic planet in order to survive and return to Earth. Will they be successful, or will their efforts be in vain? Next in list is Carp Reborn. Wang Sheng, a member of Special Forces, was transported into the world of Yuanhan, Origin Spirits. There, he was controlled by a carp spirit that had become notorious trash in the world of Origin Spirits. Wang Sheng used the knowledge he gains to overcome all challenges in this world of experts, even finding a way to develop his useless spirit carp, ranging from a carp to an eagle, and from the sparrow to the phoenix. He will forge his own path to success in this evil and vicious world full of conflicts. According to legends, a carp that leaps over the dragon's gate will transform into the dragon itself. Even a small carp can defy its own fate and become legendary with enough effort and bravery. Next is One Step Toward Freedom. Our main character, the Yu, was transported to a different planet. And the first thing that happened to him was that he was coerced into getting married. He falls right in front of a sect leader who is desperate to find his daughter an unfaithful husband. This is how his path of cultivation begins, from time travel to forced marriage. Next up is Dragon Raja. Lu Mingfei never anticipated leading a remarkable life. He was happy with his modest accomplishments and took pride in his StarCraft prowess. All of that, however, is offended when he unexpectedly receives a scholarship to attend Castle College in Chicago. This can only be a scam because everything seems too good to be true. He has no idea that when he does accept the offer, it will only mark the start of the rest of his life, and that once they start telling him about the dragons, the college's obscurity, woe, and be the biggest issue on his mind, then we have peerless martial spirit. There are thousands of sects on the continent of Long Mai, where cultivation is the way of life. While the weak live like ants, the strong conquer everything. Young Chu Feng was unable to cultivate because he was born with a weak energy core, but he ignores the numerous sneers that are directed at him. By chance, he discovers enigmatic dragon blood, which begins a new chapter in his life. He discovers himself in the arms of endearing fox spirits, a haughty empress, an enchantress of magic, and even the deity princess. He gazes down from the highest heavens, accompanied by many beauties, using unmatched martial techniques that have come to the fore of the most powerful martial spirit. Next is the peak of true martial arts. Nifeng has a body of true yang, but he was born into an ordinary family, suffered an unfortunate fate, was repeatedly persecuted and mistreated, and eventually set out on the path of confronting the 8 main sects on his own. Unexpectedly, Nifeng was not killed as a result of this. Rather, at the age of 17, he was reborn into his boyhood. Despite coming from an ordinary background, he excelled in this life and possessed unmatched martial arts. The regrets from the previous life will be atoned for. All adversaries will be laid to rest. Number 5 in the list is the Demon Hunter. Meng Chuan saw his mother being killed right in front of him. So he worked very hard to train in the hopes of one day exacting revenge. But as his wedding engagement was called off, an invasion by foreign forces, and the sanctuary was taken over by the enemy, his peaceful days were disturbed. He picked up his sword and vowed to be the strongest in order to defend the citizens of Ning City. This is a difficult task and enlightening journey. Number 4 is Eclipse of Illusion. A beautiful wedding turns into betrayal by a beloved. It's no longer seeking immortality. A single thought transforms into darkness. The powerful and tragic heroine embarks on a path of vengeance as a killing deity, determined to eradicate all. Number 3 in list is Soul Land 2. A world without of magic, do, qi, and martial arts, but replete with essence spirits. 10,000 years after the Temp sect's founding on the Daowu continent, it started to decline. Can the new generation of Shrek 7 monsters revive the Tang sect and write a song that is unmatched by the Tianzhao generation? The brand new soul guide system that caused the Tang sect to fall will be revealed one by one. It is a million-year-old soul beast that holds the sun, the moon, and the star-picking god of the dead. Can the Temp sect's secret weapons regain their glory? Can the Temp sect reclaim its former glory? Number 2 in the list is Perfect World. Shi Hao is the main character, who is abandoned in the remote wilderness by his parents, so that he can grow in safety in a stone village where the village god can take care of him. Ancient village residents survive by killing monsters and are guarded by their god or guardian spirit. Shi Hao is primarily a prince, but due to human greed, he experiences an incident that could have ended his life. However, the god of the stone village saves him and leaves him in the village to protect him from the assassins who wanted to kill him. As he gets older, the god spirit asks him about his parents, but the god commands him to grow stronger and lift a 1,000-kilo caddy's furnace that has been given to him. When the man is able to do that, thou wilt learn the whereabouts of his father. Number 1 is Throne of Seal. Humanity was about to go extinct as the demons were rising. 6 temples rose and stood guard over the last of humanity. In order to save his mother, a young boy joins the temple in the role of the knight. Will he be able to rise to become the strongest knight and take the throne during his journey of wonders and mischief in the world of temples, demons? And that wraps up our list of the top 30 Donghua anime of all time. From epic cultivation journeys to touching romances and stunning fantasy worlds, these stories truly showcase the beauty and depth of Chinese animation. Which of these Donghua is your favorite? Or did I miss one that deserves to be on the list? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more anime and Donghua content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy watching.